So I'm going to do the inner lip, if you will. This is where the piece actually fits into it so it doesn't slide off. And so our lid pocket, we're going to go a 93 millimeter, just because remember we had a 92 diameter of the other piece, the base piece. We're going to start at -1 because we faced it. 1 millimeter, and then we're going to have a Z end of 3. So that means we're going to have a depth of cut of 2 mils. Again, I'm going to set it up for my 57.5 for my X and Y, and that will get us this ring first. I might as well just go ahead and jump so you understand what we're doing next. I'm going to do that inner pocket ring just to make sure that if for some reason it doesn't fit properly on the other one, or if the wood starts to move, there's a little bit of give in the lid that's accommodating for that. So again, we're going to do the 50.5. I can take that and I can copy it. I can retitle it in terms of inner pocket. That way I've duplicated the file, and then keep this under my folders for the lid versus the base. Again, keep track of my Z start because now I'm 3 millimeters down. I'm going to go a 0.5 millimeter deep. Then we're going to come back and we'll work on our outer profile. So let's go back to the machine. All right, so we're going to come in here to our smoker lid. And I already know that I want this at a 93 millimeter circular pocket. So we're just going to go ahead and load that. And that looks about right. Let's just go ahead and check the parameters though. So I'm going to come back here to File, and we're going to go to our conversational edit. And let's just go ahead and double check what we've got here. So we have 93 millimeters in diameter. We're still going to work on our 57.5. And from there, we will work at a depth of cut 1 millimeter. We have a Z start at -1 because we faced it. And we're going to go -3. So that'll give us 2 millimeters of a lip in order to fit over that piece. And before we do anything, we're just going to go through and double check. We're still going to use tool 3. So let's go ahead and finish that. We're going to add this up. I didn't change anything, so we should be good to just run this. And let's go ahead and make some chips. All right, so we have the 93 millimeter, the inside lip, if you will, or we're creating that lip. And this is the first section we're going to do on the lid after the facing. We want to do this because this will take us down to the next level, which will be for the strainer. All right, so we've got this lip down. It doesn't look like it. And again, one of my tricks is to take an old emery board and just, I'm working with the grain. That way I don't produce any additional scratches. But I just kind of clean up this little fuzz that doesn't always get cut. And that's just kind of the aspects of walnut. All right, so now we're ready to go and actually put in our profile so that we can make sure that this fits without any problems whatsoever. So let's go ahead and do that teeny tiny little pocket right now. It won't take much time. Okay, so we just completed our 93 mil recess or our pocket in there. Now we need to do our 50 mil so that our strainer will fit without any problems. And we're only going to go 0.8 millimeters deep. So let's take a look at opening that up. We're just going to go ahead and do conversational edits. And let's just double check what our settings are. So we do have it at 50.5 overall diameter. We're going to have a depth of cut of 0.8 because we're actually going to do our Z start at -3 and then go down to -3.8. Everything else over here will still be the same. So let's go ahead and save and run this. All right, so now that I've done all of these cuts and everything looks good, I'm going to go ahead and profile the outside edge. So I'm just going to cut off, if you will, in a sense, a portion of these corners. So the outer lid, I'm going to go ahead. Again, it's very similar to the work that I've already done. So if I want to copy a file, rename it, and adjust it, this one's going to have a diameter of 102 millimeters in terms of an overall distance across. Again, my XY centers are still going to be the same at the 57.5. And then my Z start, because I faced it, I'm going to go ahead and be at a -1. I'm going to drop it down to either a -11 or a -12, just because I want kind of a thicker, if you will, piece. if I look across from top to bottom, that's my profile cut that I'm going to go ahead and work on. So let's go ahead and set that up in the computer under conversational. All right, so now we need to create, if you will, our profile for this lid. If we go into our conversational edit here, you'll notice that I have this marked that it is a 102 overall diameter, but again, we're still running the 115 block. So we'll run all of that through there, but this will be 102 diameter. Again, still our centers, X and Y, 57.5. This one, we're gonna run it just a little bit over a centimeter, so we're gonna run that at -12 to give the lid a little bit of beef, because we're gonna come in and recess the inside just a little bit. Obviously, because we faced it, we're gonna be at a -1. And again, we're just gonna try and keep all of our tooling parameters the same. That way we don't have to change a lot. So let's go ahead and run that, and we should be good to go. I didn't change anything, so it won't give me any notifications. Let's go run that. All right, so we have our profile cut done. You can see we've got just a little bit of fuzz here. So again, I'm just going to work with the grain. Just get some of that off. Now, what I really want is a glass. However, this will work just fine. I need to check to make sure that this is going to fit in there. Oh, and that fits perfect. That's the bomb right there. So now we can go ahead and take this off, and let's go ahead and clean off the other side so that our lid is complete. All right, the last thing we need to do is we need to flip our lid, put it into our circular holder mount, and put that onto the table. Again, we're going to work on setting this up at about a 103 or 104 pocket diameter. So we're actually just going to cut into the pocket, just because that works a lot faster than trying to cut the outside perimeter. With that, it'll just go down, and we're going to need to measure that actual thickness that is left, and that's what our Z will be. So depending on the thickness of your wood, that will be your Z plunge or your Z cut that we go through. We could go ahead, because we flipped it, set it at 0, and then we will go ahead and run that down. You should still be able to run tool 3, but if you want something a little bit longer because your wood is a little bit thicker, you can go ahead and do that. And again, all we're going to do is a pocket. That way it faces it as well as separates it from the overall block. Let's go ahead and work on that. We have this at 102 on the other side, but I'm going to go 104. That gives me just a little bit of space around, if you will, that whole lid. I'm still going to use the tool number 3. We'll kind of work on this as an element of facing. The reason I want to do it as a pocket is we'll be able to do this a lot faster. Still 57. Let's go back and change that. Let's make sure we get that correct. So we hit enter, and we need to go 57.5. Hit enter. Now we're good. So we'll come back here to our pocket. Again, as I said, 104. We're going to go down 12 millimeters. So if I measure what my thickness is of the leftover material, I want just maybe a little bit more in order to make sure that I've got things cleared out. We'll go a fairly decent step over, and we'll just go 1 millimeter depth of cut. So we'll go ahead and click finish. We'll go ahead and double check our savings. And we'll go ahead and close. We need to reload. And like I said, right here, we will see that we're just going to leave the outside corners, and we're just going to mill down in order to face this. And it'll be a lot faster doing this than trying to just take the whole thing down. Yes, we'll have some scrap waste on the outside corner, but that's not necessarily a big deal. So let's go ahead and start milling this in order to get the cap finished. All right, so this is my original corner that was originally in this place. We have it in our compression clamp. We've got this settled down, so now I'm just going to go ahead and use the same end mill. Number 3, we're going to reference it off this corner. That way we'll have our same 57.5 by 57.5 in terms of the center. We'll work with this. We'll just double check to make sure that it's square, and then we'll set off our XYZ coordinate right here. So let's go ahead and get that set up. All right, so I've already set up my work coordinate offset. I didn't want to waste your time, so that's done deal. However, the last thing that I want to do is I want to double check what I need to mill. So I'm going to come in here, and it looks like I've got roughly 11.5 millimeters. So I've got a depth of cut, or basically an overall pocket that we're going to do, which will be 12 millimeters. That's going to be perfect in terms of just cleaning up on that top surface. And we're just going to work on the inside. We're not going to waste time on the out. Usually your pocket cuts, circular pocket cuts, go pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and run this and be done, hopefully within about 15 minutes. All right, so we've got this at about 1100, 1200 millimeters per minute. You can just kind of see that this is not bogging down at all. It's just going fine. And we're just going to cut out this center circle. It is at 104 millimeters diameter for that pocket. So that gives us just a little bit of clearance on all the sides as it goes down. And we should have a nice clean top on it. All right, I just stopped this shy of the last couple of cleanup passes. And the reason being is I've already got complete separation. So I did a G30 to get it out of the way. Essentially, this is done. And that's kind of the nice thing, is you're cleaning everything out from the inside out. Let's go ahead and clean this up here, and we'll take a look at our lid before we do anything. All right, the last thing that we need to do is engrave. Now, remember, if you're going to set it at the center, and then however large your text is, you need to run to the bottom of that. My suggestion is, before you actually do the engraving, run this about 3 or 4 millimeters above and just cut air so you can see if this is the alignment that you want as you're placing it. So that's some of my tricks that I do. I also oiled this a little bit so I have a little bit more of a contrast in order to see that engraving taking place. So I will change out the end mill to an engraver. I will reset 0 for Z. However, I'm still referencing off of my point, and that will still get me my 57.5 center in both directions. So that's kind of where I want to work with. But again, I want to cut air first in order to check the height of my text, as well as where is it placement in terms of the y-axis. So that's what we're going to do next, and I'll let you go ahead and play with that. Now, one of the last things you can do under conversational is the actual engraving. So there you can type in whatever you want. You've got these selections in terms of what your font's going to look like. One of the things that I do is I set it up to be centered on that 57.5, if that makes sense. But my base is going to be fairly close. And again, I would highly recommend running this above about 2 or 3 millimeters just to make sure that it cuts the where you want it to be. I'm going to use my tool 33, which is an actual engraving bit. I'm going to go ahead and finish. I didn't make any changes, so I can close. And let's go ahead and load that and see what it's going to look like. And it'll show us our reference for the work that we have here. If you're not comfortable drilling into something round, because a lot of times you can get a drill bit that will drift or it'll float, may I suggest using a much smaller one, 1/8 inch or something like that, in order to create a pilot hole. And that will have less likely of a tendency to wander. You just kind of wash the wood grains. And if you can actually get in between the annular rings, the drill bit will actually go straight. If you're on top of that, it'll want to drift off of that. So those are some of the tricks in terms of basic woodworking. Also, remember, you've got a fairly thick bottom down here, so you will want to be up just a little bit, or you could angle it as you work on that as well. So those are some possibilities. So let's go ahead and drill this out, get that set. By the way, I've already got the engraving. It's a little bit difficult since it's not deep in order to see it in there, but it has been engraved, and we are ready to finish this up and then take it to the kitchen. All right, now we're in the final stages. So in order to create your shavings, I like to use one of my little hand block planes. I mean, it's just a simple one, nothing big. Just do some oak and then come through, save those shavings, those curlicues, and then that'll be perfect for what we need to do. The other thing that I use is a quick little hand propane torch. Nothing very fancy, but it totally works, especially in terms of directing your flame. So if we go ahead and get this set, we're going to go ahead and take our bottom part. We're going to add some of our shavings. And I'm going to try and get it so you can see what's really going to happen in here. I have my lid ready to go. And this is what it'll look like. Torch it pretty well. You're going to have some flames coming up. Then go ahead, in order to keep it from smoking all through the house, you'll now see that that smoke is just setting in there. It's going to set on top of that, and however long you want it to be smoky, it's totally up to you. You can run a timer. You can do it for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45, 60, whatever you think is appropriate for your needs. But that is your whiskey smoker. We'll let that sit for just a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoy the project and make more, because these are great gifts. So we'll go ahead and remove. And that is your new smoked whiskey.